The helmet is a lion's head, described him as like the rabbit.
It's a like live or die type of thing, you know, when you're going down, because there's no way back, you know.
I don't want to just be out there, be the black guy on ice or be the African guy on ice. I want to compete with the rest of the world to show that people from Ghana can actually do it. So being in the gym, working extra hard to get there, to be able to chase or to be able to get to the level of some of these countries with the best.
What makes the people of Ghana so special?
I think what makes us special is our history, man. Being able to stay together, to be together, to fight together, to work hard together. And I think that's something that we are blessed with. We love our culture, we love our people. We are really culture-oriented people, you know. When you're in Ghana, you better be speaking some Twi. Obviously, yes, we were captured by the British. Our actually national language is actually English, but we love to speak our own dialects. There's a ton of different dialects. People being able to work together, even though they come from different regions and stuff like that. What makes us strong is we being one as people.
Akwasi is a Ghanaian man who has pioneered the seemingly impossible. Born in the Ashanti region of Ghana, an area known for consistently warm temperatures and tropical climate, he has found himself representing all of Africa on the world stage, risking his life shredding down tracks of ice at outrageous speeds in a sport called skeleton. This is his story.
I was born in Ghana in 1986 in February. It was a little bit warmer than it is right now over here. Born with a beautiful family, my mom Esther Amwako, my dad Joseph Asamoah, and raised up in Ghana until I was about 8 years old. The first 8 years I lived actually with my grandmother, Afia Menka, because my mother left Ghana to the Netherlands. We didn't have much, slept on concrete floors, had to share blankets with each other, stuff like that. You know, the only time that we really remember in Ghana there was Christmas. It's not because it was snowing, but on Christmas Day we had the privilege and the honor to consume like a full bottle of a Coca-Cola or a full egg. That's when we knew it was Christmas.
Akwasi later joins his mother and brother, Kofi, in the Netherlands in search of a better life and more opportunities. However, the reality wasn't as perfect as his dream.
We had to struggle, pray, and battle for a Dutch legal citizenship. Obviously, because I have a different last name, my brother as well, than my mother, and the way we traveled in as well. So it became a whole big deal of being an undocumented immigrant for like 13 years. So it was really hard on my family, you know, they had to pay so many lawyers to keep us in the country. We were not allowed to go to school because we didn't have the legal citizenship. No doctor wanted to help us and as we got sick because we didn't have insurance to go to the hospital or to the doctors to visit the doctor. So, you know, walking around and seeing police officer cars, you know, because as an illegal immigrant, it's like a taboo, people don't talk about it, but people consider and see you a little bit as a criminal. So walking around in the neighborhoods and seeing police car, you're always like afraid, like, man, are they gonna get me right now? Because also every couple of weeks or every month or so we'll get like a yellow card and that will actually show us that we have to go back to, it's like a yellow card, like a warning that we have to go back to where we come from.
Tell me about where sports started for you.
You know, I was born in Ghana, I loved soccer, I always wanted to play for Ajax, you know, in the Netherlands and stuff like that. So soccer was always the thing that I wanted to do. But I figured out later on, you know, sounds very cocky that I was too fast for the soccer ball. So I had to divert into something else. And that's why I was discovered to do track and field when I was about 15 years old.
In his pursuit to stand on the Olympic stage, Akwasi, with the help of his coach, applied for scholarships to run for a school in the US. He chose Utah Valley University. He competed in the 100, 200, and the 4x1 relay. And in 2010, he helped break the relay team's school record and won a gold medal during the Great West Indoor Championships.
In 2012, I remember getting a phone call in 2011 from the Dutch 4x100 meter relay coach. His name is Troy Douglas. He said, Akwasi, you're doing so good. We've seen your results. You're not selected on the Dutch pre-Olympic relay team for the London Olympic Games. And so I was excited training for that. But, you know, a couple months before that, something terrible happened. I got injured and therefore was only in the pre-Olympic team, but I didn't make the travel squad team to eventually go to the London Olympic Games. I was devastated.
That devastation soon turned into opportunity. When he didn't make it to the London Olympics, the Dutch bobsled team was there to recruit him as a brakesman.
They basically almost grabbed me literally from the finish line to be able to recruit me to get into bobsledding. And I was like, man, you guys are crazy, man. First of all, I'm black, I'm from Ghana, and you know, it doesn't snow much in the Netherlands, so don't be confused. And no, I want to be an Olympic sprinter.
Despite his hesitation to turn his back on track, he joined the Dutch bobsled team in hopes of getting one step closer to his Olympic stage. He was put on the B team, which served as the backup for the Netherlands Olympic team. He never got the call to compete and again was turned away from his Olympic dream.
You know, I started to sell vacuum door to door and stuff like that, getting doors slammed in my face and things like that, struggling to it and stuff like that. And that's later on how the coach who recruited me to do bobsledding gave me a call and said, hey, you should try skeleton.
Yet again, Akwasi was at a crossroads. With both track and bobsledding behind him, skeleton seemed to be his last opportunity to fulfill his dream. So of course, he said,
no. You know, bobsledding was already crazy, you know, but that's still a little bit of, you know, macho guys, you know, pushing the sled, and skeleton like, nah, no thanks. Then I remember 2015, my wife looked at me as we were successful business people. We had our own business in vacuum seal. And my wife looked at me, she said, you know, what's going on? You know, I said, my #1 dream is really to go to the Olympics. You know, I really want to reach that level. And she said, you know, I don't want you to be 99 years old and still be whining about your Olympic dream. Let's go for it. And here I was, Ghana man, lying head first on my belly, thinking that at the end of the finish, they probably had my coffin ready to bury me.
The decision to take up skeleton spawned a brilliant idea. What would happen if he decided to represent Ghana?
So in 2016, I started a whole federation, traveled to Ghana, stayed down with the sport minister, the Olympic Committee, the National Sports Authority, and literally they sat down like this and started like in Cuba and just laughing at me like, dude, are you crazy? What are you gonna do again? I'm gonna do skeleton. What is that? Are you being brainwashed? You know, so it was definitely, I had to convince them, but luckily they were on board. And but then, you know, I had to start funding it myself, you know, because nobody was gonna be like this African kid on a sled, like who's gonna sponsor this kid, right?
By choosing to represent Ghana over the Netherlands, he earned a near automatic qualification to the 2018 Winter Olympics in Pyeongchang, China, to represent the entire continent of Africa. So bring me back to just the Olympic experience. What was that like?
It was tremendous. Like, you know, you hear a lot about, you know, the Olympics and how great it is, how big it is and stuff like that, the people, the noise and everything like that. And it seems like it's just a fairy tale thing. And I actually lived it, and I definitely embraced it, and I sucked it only like a sponge. When I went to the Olympic Games, first of all, I just started the sport only about a year and a half. Everybody else competing in skeleton in 2018. We were doing the sports for about 6 to 18 years. I was only doing it for like a year and a half. This is me, African kid, trying to, you know, steer with my shoulders and knees and do something that I've never done before. It was definitely different when it comes to the competitive part of it as well. But I knew that I was going there for a couple of reasons. One was to put my country on the map. Second was to, you know, actually to break boundaries, you know, to show that it is possible for Black people, for people from Africa to actually be on ice. And third was to gain the experience for the next Olympic, which is 2022. That was my goal when I went there. And I definitely feel like I was able to fulfill that. And on top of that, I was able to inspire millions of people all over the world. It was funny that I get emails and messages from people from not just Africa, but from China, from Korea, from India, the people that were inspired by my relentless, my get going and not giving up and stuff like that. And in life, that's what it's eventually about, being able to have an impact on people and to be able to have impact on people back home and people all over the world. I was blessed enough to use my story in a positive way. Obviously, I have a story that I struggled a lot and stuff like that, but I never wanted to be seen as a victim. So to be able to turn that around in the storytelling, to be able to turn that around in giving people hope becomes eventually a brand, to be able to build a community around you online, offline and stuff like that. And to be able to show what you all about, you know, to show, you know, my African roots, to show my dream of wanting to become an Olympic athlete, to show myself as a father, to show myself as a husband, everything, you know, you can put that all together and create a positive brand, and it's all about positive energy.